In this video, we will be talking about the science behind sunscreen. Sunscreen. It is a photoprotective topical product for the skin that absorbs or reflects the ultraviolet radiation. It helps in combating sunburn and also preventing skin cancer. Sunscreen. It is known for its uses such as shielding yourself from harmful UV rays, preventing premature aging, lowers skin cancer risk, prevents sunburns, prevents tanning, and lastly, enhancing health of the skin. Now let's take a look into the materials inside sunscreen. The first one is active ingredients, which is 20% of the product. It is compounds that filters the sun. The second one is formulation stabilizers, which is 55% of the product, which includes solvents, preservatives, thickening agents, and emulsifiers. The third one is sensory enhancers, which is 23% of the product. These compounds improve the feel or scent of the formula. The last one is added extras 2%. These compounds do not influence how the sunscreen works. The first type of sunscreen is known as physical or mineral sunscreen, which is inorganic. The materials used include zinc oxide or titanium dioxide that sits on top of the skin and physically prevent UV rays from penetrating the skin by reflecting the UV ray away. The second type of sunscreen is chemical sunscreen, which is organic. It is made up from the combination of avobenzone, octinoxate, oxybenzone, and ecamsol, which allow UV light into the skin, which then created chemical reaction. UV light is then converted to heat, then the heat dissipates from the skin. SPF. It stands for Sun Protection Factor. It is a measure of how well a sunscreen will protect skin from UVB rays. UVB rays is a kind of radiation that causes sunburn and damages to the skin.
There are 4 examples of SPF. SPF 15 that can block 93% of UVB rays, SPF 30 that can block 97% of UVB rays, SPF 50 blocks 98% of UVB rays, and lastly, SPF 100. Based on the diagram, when a person does not wear sunscreen, 100 photons will enter the exposed skin. However, when someone wears sunscreen, for example SPF 50 sunscreen, the skin will have 93% protection. There are differences between lower SPF and higher SPF. Firstly, all start with lower SPF. When we are using much lower SPF, it takes shorter time for our skin to burn, allows more UVB rays to hit the skin, and allow higher UV radiation to the skin. Luckily, higher SPF sunscreen are the opposite. This is why sunscreen with broad spectrum are recommended for daily use. Broad spectrum means it protects from both UVA and UVB rays. UVA is a radiation that classifies in ultraviolet spectrum. Ultraviolet A rays basically is a light from the sun that has fairly long wavelength and could cause the skin to go brown and look older. It also plays a role in skin cancer formation. As the rays penetrate more deeply into skin, it plays a greater role in premature skin aging changes, including wrinkle formation, loose skin, and sunspot. UVB is a radiation that has fairly short wavelength, shortened from ultraviolet B rays. It has largest effect on the top layer of skin and responsible for redness, burning, and skin cancer. These rays can cause changes in DNA in cells directly and the top factor to skin cancer. The higher the SPF, the better. But SPF that are higher than 30 means the additional protection is minimal. So, the best choice for us is to look for broad spectrum UVA and UVB products with minimum of SPF 30.
Is sunscreen safe for human health? And how do we choose the right sunscreen? Studies by FDA stated that human bodies absorb ingredient in chemical sunscreen at levels that surpass FDA's safety limit, which is 0.5 nanograms per milliliter. For example, oxybenzone when applied every 2 hours can be absorbed at a level of 258.1 nanogram per milliliter, which is 516 times higher than the limit. However, this is still not a strong indicator, as other cosmetic products also contain oxybenzone as their main material. So, how do we choose the right sunscreen for ourselves? First of all, we should opt for mineral sunscreen instead of the chemical, as it acts as an outer layer shield to reflect UV rays instead of absorbing it and turning it into heat. Second, we must find the sunscreen that are labeled as broad spectrum. And the last one, we should choose SPF 30 and above to provide the highest percentage of protection. For example, there are a few brands that are normally used such as Neutrogena, Cetaphil and Avene. Well, that's all for our video today. Feel free to ask any questions down below and we hope to see you soon. Bye!